Welcome to Caseback Watches, my name is Tim and our topic today is Glashütte Original. And we are here in this little series German watchmakers, and today I want to present you this very special company, this very special brand. And when we talk about Glashütte, then we're not talking only about a company, we're talking about a whole town and this little Hütte in the name. Every time you see in Germany something such and such Hütte, then this indicates a mine. Back then, a mine for silver, copper, salt and so on. And in case of Glashütte, this was silver. It was not glass, by the way. You could think, well, Glashütte should be a glass mine, but there are not such things like glass mines. And so this was a silver mine. And we're talking here about the 19th century. And those silver mines in the 19th century were exhausted. This was a big problem for the town Glashütte because of unemployment. And in 1845, a gentleman showed up and his name was Ferdinand Adolf Lange. And exactly, it was the Lange, the founder of the Lange company back then. And he brought a proposal with him to the local government. He said to them, you have a problem with unemployment here, and I have an idea for a new industry here, but I need support, I need a loan, I need capital to found here a watch industry. And why watch industry now, this is the question. First, he was a watchmaker, and second, he saw huge demand in Germany and entire Europe, because we're talking about the peak of the industrialization in Europe, 1845. This was the transition from farm work to work in industries with their very precise schedules, and so the employees were in need of timepieces, accurate timepieces. And so in fact miners were turned into watchmakers by Ferdinand Lange. And with this new industry, they earned a lot of money then. And Glashütte was then let's say the core of German watchmaking, not only with the companies founded by Lange, but also with other companies, and some of them very small, just for movements, just for tiny parts, just for cases. And they worked there relatively undisturbed until World War II, and this of course was the big cut then. Then Glashütte was a very important manufacturer of detonators for the Wehrmacht. And of course then they were a high value target for the Allies. And so Glashütte was heavily bombarded during World War II, everything destroyed. But if you destroy a shop of a watchmaker, then the machinery is lost, but of course not the know-how in their heads. And the Soviet Union, we're talking about Eastern Germany, so it was then under the Soviet Union, under communism. The Soviet Union wanted to continue with the watchmaking in Glashütte. First, they expropriated everybody. Every company there was expropriated and united to what they call Volkseigener Betrieb, VEB. And you can translate this into a company of the people. And under communism, there were no more incentives for more quality, for more output, and so the quality of the products of Glashütte went down. This, by the way, is arguable. There are some collectors of those watches who say no, the quality was still there, but I have two sources there. So if you are good informed about that topic, let us know in the comments, please. And so if you see a vintage watch with VEB, then you can be sure that this is an old vintage watch from that period of time before 1990. Because in 1990, as we know, the Soviet Union collapsed and both Germanys were reunited. And this was then the time where the people in Glashütte said, let's continue now as a free company. And this is exactly what they've done there. The VEB was then turned into a modern company. And in fact, the company was split in two brands. There was GUB, which was more entry level. They've bought movements from Switzerland, assembled them in Germany. And Glashütte Original, which was meant to be the company or the brand for high-end watchmaking with in-house movements. And of course, they were in need of fresh capital because under communism, their investments weren't so great. But they've managed to start. In 2000, they became part of the Swatch Group, with then access to severe funds. And now they are, I think, a very high respected watchmaker in Germany, very high respected company in Germany. And now let's speak about their products. Now let's speak about their watches. Every watch there comes with an in-house movement, and they have 5 different lines. And I will tell you 1 or 2 sentences to every line, and then I will show you an example which represents the line in my humble opinion. And the lines are Senator, Pano, Specialist, Vintage and Ladies. And let's start with Senator. Here you find the tourbillon, the moon face, the skeletonized watch, so really high-end watchmaking. And a good example for this is the Senator Chronometer Tourbillon. This is a limited edition, a hand-winding watch with a platinum case, tourbillon, power indicator and insane decoration. I mean, look at this. Hand engravings, Geneva stripes, everything you want handmade here on this movement. And the price of this watch is unfortunately 150,000 euros. Yes, those watches are really, really pricey, and Glashütte Original is not an exception. The next line is the Pano, and here again you see the tourbillons, you see the moon phases, skeletonized watches, precious metals. And here you find the Panorama Date, which was an invention by Glashütte Original. And the idea is here that you have two discs, one for the tens, one for the ones. And this allows to construct a big date window without something between those digits. And this, of course, then is the panorama. And a good example is the Panograph. And here you see a hand-winding column wheel flyback chronograph with a 30-minute counter and the Panorama Date, rose gold case, 40 millimeters, and the price is approximately 25,000 euros. The next line is the Specialist, and this is the only line I find not so exciting, because I think there somebody said, we need a diver, we need a diver. Every watch brand needs a diver, and now they have their diver. They call it the SeaQ, and it's not a bad watch, I think. Many people love that watch, but I'm pretty sure that Glashütte Original will not be remembered in 50 years because of that SeaQ diver here. I think this is an addition to the collection because there is such a need of divers. It's important for a watch brand to deliver something underwater. Next line is the Vintage. Very easy to explain. They just reintroduce watches from the past, and a very good example here to show you what's possible is the 70s Chronograph Panorama Date. And this is a limited edition green dial 40 to 40 millimeter case, automatic flyback chronograph. So really, really high-end watchmaking. Limited at 100 pieces for 12,500 euros a piece. Okay, those were the 4 lines for gentlemen, and unfortunately they have only 1 line for the ladies, but with very beautiful pieces, very, very flashy and beautiful and colorful, extremely luxurious sometimes. And you can see this good in this example. This is the Lady Serenade, 36 millimeter automatic rose gold with 52 diamonds on it. I think weight about 1 carat. And the price for this watch is around 17,000 euros. And so a very valuable gift for your loved one. Okay, history, watches, and now we have still two topics to mention. First, they offer job training for young people as watchmakers, and with some renommee, I would say today. I think it's really a difference if you are a young watchmaker and you have learned in Hamburg, then you are basically nothing, but in Glashütte, then you have something in your CV, and very important for the industry that they do this. And the second thing I want to mention is the museum. They have a museum. It's called Deutsches Uhrenmuseum Glashütte, which is German Watch Museum Glashütte. And they have 1,000 square meters, 2 floors, loaded with old and new watch technology. And so I think if you are in the region and you are into watches, then this is worth a visit. Okay, that's all I want to say here. By the way, I'm in contact with the press department of Glashütte Original, and they've mentioned a watch for a review. And so I hope I can present you here a real watch by Glashütte Original in the near future, but we will see. And so if you want to see more about watches, handicraft and other things I find interesting, then please visit me on Instagram. It's Caseback_Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your attention, and maybe until next time.